Be like a Christmas tree for the world. You are a Christmas tree. You have so many gifts to offer. Christmas tree doesn't want anything for itself. It is there to bring celebration in everyone's life. So you be the focal point of celebration in everyone's life. Wherever you go, you bring that fragrance of celebration, the sweetness of, um, you know, of life. Communicate with people where you bring bring up joy and positivity, right? Can you just think today that I can be a source of positivity in a world hogged with negative tendencies? Can we do that? Can you, each one of you, say, I can be the light in a place where there is pitch dark? Yeah? Light, love, wisdom to everyone. You can be a fountain of joy amidst all misery. You can be an oasis of peace when there is conflict all around. You can be a point of solace when the struggle is happening all around. Just decide that and say, I want nothing but to be like a Christmas tree. Christmas tree doesn't say you water me, you give me this, you give me that. It takes it, it is self-sufficient. Right? Like that. Beautiful. Full of light and gifts and hope. Like that. And I am here to support. You don't need any other support. So you simply have to determine in your mind, I am going to be the source of light, love, wisdom to everyone around me. Okay? Whenever a prophet has walked on this planet, he was not easily accepted by the population, by the people. Throughout the history, we see prophets faced resistance. They were attacked, they were killed, they were blamed for disrupting the society, disrupting a system, of creating sin or blasphemy against God or religion. These accusations have happened again and again and again. Their teachings were rejected by people in their lifetime. Probably that's why there has been the proverb, nobody is a prophet in their own hometown. Isn't it? There is such a proverb. One is not a prophet in his own hometown. Jesus has faced the pinnacle of this rejection. The prophets before him also faced a lot of humiliation, blame, rejection by people, but Jesus faced its pinnacle. It was quite intense. Intensity of rejection indicates the darkness of the time. Lord Buddha also faced rejection, but not as much as Jesus, because the society was quite educated. They were logical. They would listen to logic. They were a little sensitive. Lord Buddha faced opposition for different reasons. From his own relatives. Same with Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna was humiliated 199 times, even 100 times, by a particular person. He said, 99 times I am going to excuse this person, Jarasandha. 100th time he said, no, I am going to take a stick. 100 mistakes I can tolerate. He said, then I am going to take a stick. Lord Krishna was also misunderstood in his time. In Gita, he clearly says, Avajananti mamuda. People do not understand my divine nature. They only see me as a human being. They see my human form and human flaws. They fail to see my divine part. And the same was said by Lord Buddha. You have to understand the nature of Buddha, the Buddha nature in your heart. If you know yourself, then you know me too. Know the Buddha nature deep inside. Don't try to understand others. And Jesus had to face the same thing. That's why Jesus said, I have come here not to make peace, but to put fire. It's a sleeping society. In a sleeping society, everything is smooth. Or you accept even if there is roughness, you don't even resist it. You just take things for granted. If there is corruption in the society, you move with the corruption. If there is injustice, you think it is the way of life. If there is discrimination, you think you deserve it. Sometimes you think maybe it is your karma. You become inactive, dull and dead. Jesus said, I have not come here to give you such a dead peace. I have come here to put fire. That means to wake you up. You know, when someone is sleeping in its slumber, you wake them up, they get angry. They get upset. One day in a course, I said, okay, in the night, go and wake everybody at 1 o'clock. Bring them all to the hall. See how many people, how many of them come peacefully, how many of them come with anger. Those who practice meditation well, they didn't mind. They said, okay, we have to come, we just came. And many, those who were new or had not much practice, they were so upset, fuming. They came fuming. I said, look, what is the point? All day you sat and meditated, now you are fuming. What happens when you wake up? First reaction is anger. And that's exactly what Jesus had to face. In the case of Jesus, even his closest disciples deserted him. This is unheard of in the history. That's why I said he experienced the pinnacle of rejection. Perhaps it was needed for him to get a universal acceptance in the later days after him. And he knew in the future it will change. You would see whatever Jesus has said is striking similar, the same thing exactly Krishna has said 5,200 years ago. This time of the year when it is cold, when nature is still and silent, and it is darker, the nature has less and less activity. Then in the middle of this spring's celebration, When things are very quiet. See, when sun is there, there is so much activity. But at the time when there is very little sun, very little activity, the nature is sleeping. Everything is gone into hibernation. All the animals are quiet. In that still and quiet night springs the celebration with lights and with joy and with love, and that is Christmas. Extrovert. In activity you are extrovert, but in stillness you are always introvert. So love springs from introvert, or looking inside. That's why stille Nacht, heilige Nacht. Schlafen hebt. Sleep in heavenly peace. The little mind is like the child. The little mind is always crying, all that. Little mind is always like a child, dependent. And the big mind is like the mother. The little mind sleeps in the lap of the big mind. The little self sleeps in the lap of the universal self. And that is the heavenly peace. Heavenly peace is not outside, somewhere up. Heaven is when the small mind is in the lap of the big mind. The small mind is away from the big mind, chaos, confusion, hell. And then the small mind starts crying, and which runs to the big mind, the motherly, and it sleeps in the heavenly peace. That peace is a real peace. Good, no? You get a different meaning of not just an incident at some point of time, but an eternal message. You can draw an eternal message in that silent night, holy night. That's holy. Holy is when the mother and child are together. I think this could be our Christmas message this year. Small mind and the big mind. The individual self and the cosmic self. So the individual self sleeps in the lap of the cosmic self, then there is heavenly peace. Good, no? And so you also do this. And tomorrow, you're putting the small mind in the lap of the big mind. And that is meditation. Mother and child in heavenly peace is meditation. Good. Great. And then there is a lot of gifts. When the child is with the mother, what comes up? Lots of gifts. Unless we bring spirituality, the world, there is no peace, there is no peace, there is no prosperity. There is no prosperity, there is no happiness. Don't you think so? Yeah?